there's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
The Joey Show.
Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Hot diggity damn, we have a special episode for you today. Fresh off the road, back in the New York studio. What a beautiful time to be alive. Dr. Phil is going on ice raids. What? When? Why is this happening? I simply opened up my computer the other day like a gentleman to go online and do some of my things. I have a great many things that I do online. Everyone knows that. It's well covered. I go online, and the first thing I see is Dr. fucking Phil on an ice raid interrogating a potentially non-legal immigrant to the United States. And I just want to know not only why that's happening, but why it now makes so much sense. Now, this, for one, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, this is why you don't want to do entertainment for too long. You don't. You just don't want to be in the game for too long. Shit's gonna start to get weird, okay? I have a very basic understanding of the entertainment industry, which is you're young, you have a dream. Okay, you're like, I don't want to work a normal job. I want to get into entertainment. I experienced that. Then you put all of your energy and effort into doing it. It finally starts happening. You get to live your dream. It's very exciting. It's fucking happening. Then, of course, you realize parts of it are a job. You want to stay in touch with your gratitude, but parts of it are a job. It's like any other job. Then you start to see the downsides of it. Oh, some of these people aren't your friends. Oh, people online might not stick with you for forever. All this sort of stuff can happen. And then you're like, yeah, I don't even know. But then you get older, and either at this point you ascend spiritually. You become some sort of Matthew McConaughey figure who's like, it's all about vibes, brother. That's not even a good Matthew McConaughey impression. All right. What? I don't know. I feel like I used to be able to do a McConaughey. It's gone now. I'm not going to sit here and worry about that. This might not be an impressions episode. That's okay. But you sit there and you either become this sort of like evolved, like you realize like I lived my dream, brother. It's not good. I lived my dream, okay? And now I'm going to have to think about what it all means. Okay, you know what? I'm lucky. I need to center myself on that. I need to give back to other people. Or you get angry, weird, political, and you try to hang on. These are both paths available to me. I don't know what I'm going to choose. I could go either way, motherfucker. But now we have Dr. Phil out here doing ice raids, and I am just wondering what part of him was like, nice. Is this his version of like, look, did I put out a joke this week about Elon Musk hitting the salute? Yeah, I did. This is a cultural moment. I thought maybe I should lend my thought process and art form to this cultural moment, as that is what I have always done. Dr. Phil, apparently thinking the same thing, says, I'm going to go on ice raids, and starts interrogating him. At one point, the immigrant dude is like, hey, man, are you Dr. fucking Phil? What is happening? Now, I don't know. I have not really spent the time. I'm sure Dr. Phil has addressed this. This is just one of those stories that you're going to see everyone online, every comedian, every YouTube, podcast, a lot of people, maybe you haven't yet. You're going to see a lot of people talk about this because there is a sweet zone in the content space, I believe. It's why we all talk about certain things. It's why everyone else has an Elon Musk salute joke. Were they better than mine? No, of course not. Guys, come on. But everyone's going to have a take on this because it combines fun with tragedy, right? That's kind of a great comedic sweet spot because you have something that's obviously kind of, you know, now whether or not you believe in what is happening immigration wise, I think you can understand for an individual, for a lot of individuals, this is not a fun thing. And it's very easy to say, well, you shouldn't have come in here. Understood. This conversation is not about immigration policy writ large. It's about what content creators see and bricketh for. This is a bricketh sort of moment. We bricketh up. If you don't know what that means, it's a euphemism for your pee-pee getting hard. That's a mind state. That's not just about anatomy. You guys know this. You listen to the show. When you see Dr. Phil, a ridiculous figure, any way you want to slice it, Adam Ray has an entire comedy tour just pretending to be him. He's that preposterous of a figure that he's inspired a comedy tour for a different man. And maybe you're, and I always want to take care of all my listeners. You're in my heart. You're in the trust tree that is known as the Joey Show. And I would tell you, yes, we are. If you are a Dr. Phil fan, he's done a lot of important work over the years. I think he tells people to be happy and healthy and something. I don't really know. But now he's going on ice raids, and that is funny. There's no other way to, you can't look at that and go, when you see that and you're a content creator, you're a comedian, you see that and you're immediately, your first thought is, what's my angle? Is that humane? Is that nice? Is that good? No. Okay. That's why I'm not getting to a bit here. I'm just letting you know how the vultures, my people who discuss these things, look at something and you just go, well, that's going to need to be discussed because that's fucking ridiculous. It's this level of blending of entertainment and politics that is not even abnormal anymore. Maybe it never has been. I wasn't alive during Reagan's era. If I was, I would have gotten my cock sucked by Nancy, is what I've been told. So when you see Dr. Phil interrogating, like jumping, like, so everyone sees Dr. Phil and we go, that's funny. Now, Dr. Phil sees Donald Trump come in, someone who I believe he agrees with to some degree, but I think he also sees this as, hey, this is a cultural moment. And much like a comedian adding a shitty 40-second clip to Instagram, it's time for me to lend my particular type of work, my particular contribution to the American discourse. I need to bring some Dr. Phil sauce to the mass deportation of migrants that is happening immediately upon Trump's return. And I would say that's a potentially questionable decision. I don't want to have too hot of a take. Now, is he going out there having fun, trying to fill it up? Does he believe in it? Does he think these people should go? I haven't consumed his response. I'm sure he has a response. I think I saw something where he said he was trying to kind of verify what's going on. So now we have another branch of government. We have the legislative, the executive, the judiciary. Some people say the press is the fourth one. Dr. Phil is a branch of the government at this point. And I think that's something that we need to accept. We need to understand that that's also a good thing. People, perhaps immigrants' rights groups might be watching this. I know a lot of you do. I would probably be watching this saying, hey, don't capitalize on this moment. But to that, I would say, what if we have another Bad Baby situation on our hands? Yes, you know Bad Baby. Bad Baby. There's H's in her name. Bad Baby. She was initially known as the Cash Me Outside girl. Cash me outside, how about that? Cash me outside, how about that? This was Cash Me Outside girl. You remember Cash Me Outside girl. She was a meme. We laughed at her. We mocked her. Who the fuck is this dumb little bitch, is what some people were saying. I would never speak or think that way about a young person trying to make it in America. I don't know what her background's like. I'm not going to look at someone speaking that white girl trailer trash and say, what is this dumb bitch on about? I would never say something like that. And if you would, you might have to ask yourself what that is. Now, Dr. Phil had her on and he made her into a star, perhaps unwittingly. He didn't know she was going to say, Cash me outside, how about that? And that might be what some of the migrants are saying. They might be saying, catch me outside. How about that? And Dr. Phil said, I will. I will go catch you outside. And that's a sad state of affairs. But I think it could be a positive. Because catch me outside, girl, how about that? Turned into Bad Baby. How about that? Bad Baby is a famous rapper. Bad Baby has made millions of dollars on OnlyFans. And what a beautiful life that is. Like, who amongst us would not want their daughter to go famous on Dr. Phil for talking shit to her mom or some shit, and then show a little puss online and make millions? I don't even think she shows push. I think people paid for just some hot pics. Cash her outside. How about that? How about that? And what if we have a moment where Dr. Phil is going on these ICE raids, and maybe he thinks these people should leave the country. Maybe he's contributing to that. And what if instead he makes a star? What if instead he makes a star? Ven conmigo. How about that? I don't even know if that means, I think that means come with me. I don't think that is definitely not. I'm going to need Google Translate on this one, because if we're going to talk about this issue, which I don't want to talk about because people's lives are at stake, and I don't think any of this is funny, but when Dr. Phil gets involved, now we have to. Catch me outside. How about that? Let's do English to, I think Spanish would be appropriate, and I don't mean to generalize. We don't generalize on this program, but Atrópame afuera, ¿qué tal eso? That's a star. That's a t-shirt. That's a bumper sticker. Atrópame afuera, ¿qué tal eso? Puta. El Dr. Phil. You fucking... What is my boy doing, dude? So he has made his decision. Now, he is kind of the Oprah generation, this talk show format where I'm going to put my cards on the table here. I have watched in my life somewhere between 35 seconds to 4 minutes of Dr. Phil's show in total. So I'm not speaking from a place of particular expertise, but I would say I'm about as familiar as I need to be if I'm going to say that Dr. Phil's show was always a mix of Oprah and Jerry Springer. So he wanted to bring these little trash bandit whores onto his, which again, I would never, but this is what the producers were saying. He wanted to bring these little trash bandit whores and, disgusting fuckboy lunatics onto his program, and ideally have them lose their shit from time to time, right? But then he also wanted to say, we lead with heart here at this program, and we're all good. Daytime television, as I understand it, was a demonic enterprise, and everything basically was Ellen. It was behind the scenes, the way we're treating people, we're running a daily show, people don't matter, and you pigs deserve to rot in hell, right? But the undertone was like, life is about love and joy and peace, and we all need to encourage that in one another. And I think that's why we've always loved it as a society, because that's kind of how we are. I think that's the problem with Trump, aside from particular policies, is that he doesn't say live, laugh, love when he's doing fucked up shit. And that bothers me. It does. I do want someone who's going to encourage me to be my best self while doing the dirty work behind the scenes that keeps my unsustainable empire from crumbling beneath my feet. I want to be able to get all the trappings of being a, is hegemonic the right word? I don't know. Capitalist fucking powerhouse, dude. But I'd like to feel good about it as well. I don't want to know all the bad things. Is that so much to ask? Like, that's what the 90s were good at. We were just like, hey, shit was happening. That's some over there shit. Calm down. Flew those planes over. We were like, whoa, what the fuck? And it fucked a lot of shit up. The 90s, early 2000s were a beautiful time, and sports often reflect our culture. This is why the steroid era was such a beautiful thing. That's what we were doing. We were juiced up. We were monsters. We were on steroids, and we were hitting home runs, and everyone said, fucking yeah! And it was awesome, and it was good, and it was beautiful. And then they told us the truth. Did the truth set you free? Did the truth set baseball free? Who are you watching ball? Hey, I like it, but I'm a lunatic, and I like my hometown teams. Go Giants, and I like to watch the boys play, and sports feel comforting. I feel like I'm less alone. But it was nice when we're just letting some shit slide. This new era, phones everywhere, we all know everything. It's exhausting. And I don't need Dr. Phil taking place in mass deportations. I need him on TV with dirty little trash bandit whores saying that life is all about love. That's what we need out of you, Phil, if you are even a doctor. These are just things that you need to consider. I'm mentioning sports here, sports, American power. This is depressing and disgusting. The Chiefs and Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Kill me. Kill me now. And I was reflecting on this the other day. I'm not going to spend too much time on football. This is an educational program. But the Super Bowl is a big deal. It's a large part of what happens in America. We love it. We are all pushing, praying, holding strong together that we get the Super Bowl pushed to President's Day weekend soon so that we can all have a day off work so that alcoholics can rest. But the Super Bowl is more than football. In fact, the Super Bowl is not football. And I covered this last year on the program when the Niners were in the Super Bowl and then we lost. If you want to go back and see footage of me being depressed, that is on that episode. I believe it's on the first episode. The Stuff Island episode, and I had to go by a river and cry because football is stupid and meaningless and pointless. But the Super Bowl is not even football. The Super Bowl is a spectacle. It is a spectacle. And this year it is the Chiefs versus the Eagles. And I've been reflecting on this because I didn't want the Chiefs to win because I'm a normal, kind-hearted, good American. But it's hard to say fuck the Chiefs and then also root for America. It's hard to be rooting for the underdog all the time and saying, you know, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of that, and then say, yeah, Gulf of America, suck 'em on dickaroo. I don't know why that was kind of almost a Japanese Southern person, and that's called chicken katsu. I think that So now I'm confronted with a situation where do I root for the Eagles? Because obviously I hate the fucking Eagles because I'm a Niners fan. Eagles fans are annoying. Do I think the Niners are the premier team in the NFC and the Eagles are blah, 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 blah? Yes, of course, obviously. I think all that. I can't root for them. I can't. Also, the color of green they wear is boring to me. Brighten up the green, you might have a customer. So now I kind of have to just say, maybe, if I want to do this, I'm rooting for greatness. I am rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the overdog because that allows me to settle in with some of the other things. I do like greatness. I did like Tom Brady. I do like America. I do like seeing Dave Chappelle come out and do an SNL monologue and crush it. I like to see that. So now that's what I have to do. But you have to ask yourself, if you hate the Chiefs, because there are a lot of football fans, a lot of angry football fans, a lot of fuck yeah, Trump, America football fans that are so mad at the Chiefs and so sick of I'm so sick of them winning and they shove it down my throat. You got to ask yourself, hey, put yourself in other people's shoes. Bills fans, maybe other people feel like that. Does that mean you need to change anything? No. This show is about reflecting. It's about thinking. It's about wondering what it all means, and then also knowing that that's what we find on this show. We do know what it all means. We know what it means. Gulf of America. Gulf of America is an interesting one. I heard that. I said, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's really not fun. Is it the best Gulf? I don't know. That's not, as a California boy, okay, Bay boy, Anchor Steam up here, by the way, the only idiot podcaster to hang a brand that's not sponsoring me at all. But this is about where you're from at this point. Everyone knows that. Anchor Steam is a San Francisco tradition. That's not the point. As a California boy, I have to say I'm not particularly tickled by the Gulf of America coastline. That's not our best beaches. I'd say maybe we leave it to Mexico. They're not sending their best. It's not their best ocean. Dirty water, very dirty water. Talking about the water, I promise. Only the water. That's, I said, hey, that's a Trump thing. Trump says Mexico, and he says no. That's just what he does. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Now, I have heard different things. I have heard that potentially. So I saw that, and it looked like just a Trump having fun thing. Trump's having fun with some things. Threatens to tariff Colombia, having fun. We'll discuss that in a minute, because the Colombian president rifled off one of the all-time tweets. All-time tweets. And you know what? I like a nice world leader on Twitter these days, because it gives us a nice insight into how fucking insane they all are. I'm always impressed when world leaders have enough time to tweet long messages. Most of the busy people in my life respond with okay, period, or nothing at all. And I used to take that personally, but then I realized that's just CEO lifestyle, dog. And I start doing it to people too. I say, K. And it's because I'm busy. It's actually not because I'm mad. Gulf of America. All right. This Gulf here. I thought it was just Trump being fun, having fun. Yeah, America, fuck yeah. Like doing that sort of stuff. And that sort of stuff is firing people up. Some people it makes angry. Some people may find it stupid. Other people, they just go, yeah. And you know what he understands? You want to give your team something to root for. You want to play exciting football out there. Okay? Other people aren't going to like it, but you want to feel the team of fellas that gets out there and plays a fun game. And he understands that, and the Democrats do not know how to have fun. Their idea of fun is, let's not even do that. But their idea of fun is kind of scolding you for not saying the right words and right things. And I think that that is gone for a bit. But Trump's firing people up. Okay, I thought he was just doing it to fire. But now I heard from someone that I won't say, that I don't know if it's true, but that has access to the government, that we've discussed on this show, that has a very large podcast. I'm not going to do that. I heard, and I know people are going to be like, that was Schultz. It actually wasn't. So not that. I have heard that Trump did that. Now, his potential long game is that might open up some long-term ability to gain drilling rights to it, so it becomes sort of an oil thing. Now, I have not fact-checked that, but that would be interesting, like, oh, we're not just fucking around, we're doing this now. That's all that I'm going to say. But it's part of Trump's fuck yeah agenda. And in addition to that, he has started, as we mentioned, in the Dr. Phil, in the A block, in the Dr. Phil portion of the show, Donald Trump has been deporting people at a high rate, and he's been sending some of them on military jets. So the Colombian president says, no, you cannot send military jets here. His argument, which I do think is fair, is do not treat these people like criminals, send them back in a passenger plane to Colombia. The news story came out, and I thought, oh, they're not accepting people. That's not going to fly. But then he was like, do it on a civilian plane. Don't do it on a military plane. I think military planes are probably more expensive, so it is kind of stupid, and I don't totally get that. Here's what happened. Trump says, fuck you. If you don't listen to me, 25% tariff. Now, on the one hand, I don't think the policy in the first place makes a whole lot of sense. I think we should be humane in whatever ends we're achieving here. I know that there's a deterrent effect. But again, we're not going to do deep immigration policy on this program. We're going to talk about where the rubber meets the road and the tweets get fun. Now, Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, claps back, shall we say. I do think, hey, we are the power here, and we can tell people this is what's going to happen, and I think that that's okay. But it's also okay for that president to get a little fired up and send out a tweet. Now, here's that tweet. You may have heard this tweet before. It's worth another reading, I think. Trump, I don't really like traveling. This is the president of Colombia, by the way. Trump, I don't really like traveling to the U.S. It's a bit boring. What, no Tusi? It's a bit boring, but I confess that there are some commendable things. I like going to the black neighborhoods of Washington, where I saw an entire fight in the U.S. Capitol between blacks and Latinos with barricades, which seemed like nonsense to me because they should join together. I confess that I like Walt Whitman and Paul Simon and Noam Chomsky and Miller. I confess that Sacco and Vanzetti, who have my blood, are memorable in the history of the USA, and I follow them. They were murdered by labor leaders with the electric chair and fascists who are within the USA as well as within my country. I don't like your oil, Trump. You're going to wipe out the human species because of greed. Maybe one day over a glass of whiskey, which I accept despite my gastritis, we can talk frankly about this. But it's difficult because you consider me an inferior race, and I'm not, nor is any Colombian. So if you know someone who is stubborn, that's me, period. You can try to carry out a coup with your economic strength and your arrogance, like they did with Allende, but I will die in my law. I resisted torture, and I resist you. I don't want slavers next to Colombia. We already have had many, and we freed ourselves. What I want next to Colombia are lovers of freedom. If you can't accompany me, I'll go elsewhere. Colombia is the heart of the world, and you don't understand that. This is the land of the yellow butterflies, of the beauty of the remedios, but also of the colonels Arellano Buendia, of which I am one, perhaps the last. You will kill me, but I will survive in my people, which is before yours in the Americas. We are peoples of the winds, the mountains, the Caribbean Sea, and of freedom. You don't like our freedom? Okay, I don't shake hands with white slavers. I shake hands with the white libertarian heirs of Lincoln and the black and the white farm boys of the USA, at whose graves I cried and prayed on the battlefield, which I reached after walking the mountains of Italian Tuscany after being saved from COVID. What the fuck? That's half of it. That's half. I could keep reading this. I won't. I won't. He goes on, your blockade does not scare me because Colombia, besides the country of our beauty, is the heart of the world. I know that you love beauty as I do not disrespect it, and you will give it your sweetness. So, he says, I'm informed that you impose a 50% tariff on the fruits of our human labor to enter the United States, and I do the same. Let our people plant corn that was discovered in Colombia and freed to the world. He backed down about a couple hours later. Now, he backed down. He accepts the planes, a large screed, and I like a screed. I think I've discussed this on the program. I love a good screed. If you are wronged and drunk and on your phone and you just got to drop a screed. A few things that we need to discuss here. The gastritis piece, I found that to be very interesting. A bit unwell read because Trump doesn't even drink. So this dude is like, all right, let's be men. We'll have a glass of whiskey. I have gastritis, but I'll let it go for you. Trump doesn't drink. Interesting. But I like a dog who's willing to fight through that. Like, I will say I'm with the Colombian president on this. He's saying, hey, I'm old. I have gastritis. I will fucking have some whiskey and let's talk. But just so you know, I've read a few books. I've read a few books in my day. Okay, I've read some Chomsky. I've read some Whitman. We are the land of the yellow butterflies, bitch. I will fuck you up. We are the center of the world. I love that vibe, dude. Fuck you, dog. But leverage also exists. Back down immediately. So I think these guys will really get along. That's what's funny. I see this guy and I'm like, oh, they're cut from the same cloth. I guarantee you he and Colombia guy are going to be boys. Now, I think Colombian guy is very, very hard left. He was like a guerrilla fighter. He came out of fighting, and that's not exactly Trump. Trump was more of a draft dodger, hard right at this point. But it's really a vibes thing. Like, who amongst us can't have a nice time with the boys, even if the politics are a little off? Even if the politics are a little off, you can have a nice little time with the fella. You can have a glass of whiskey if you're sober. You can have a glass of whiskey if you have gastritis. He's trying to bring it back to how business was done. I think this guy kind of likes Trump, which is the odd thing, because he keeps writing this shit. He's like, you know beauty, I know beauty, we are beauty, dog. You don't know. But what this guy doesn't know is Trump doesn't read all that. That's too long of a screed for Trump to read. He's not going to read that screed, baby. It's not going to happen. I'm sure it was dictated. I'm sure he saw some of it. But Trump is too busy writing his own screeds to read other people's screeds. He doesn't have time. He's not going to read the comments. He doesn't have time. So very interesting stuff there. Don't think Trump's reading that. I'm pretty sure. Gulf of America is America. Now, Google changed the settings, has changed the United States to call the United States a sensitive country because they set up a rule within Google Maps that has to alert people of sensitive countries. The other ones, I believe, are Russia, Turkey, Israel, China, and now the U.S. And the reason that they had to add the U.S. is because one of their stipulations was disputes over borders and the naming of things on Google Maps. So now we're a sensitive country. And it's kind of funny because people always accuse the left of being like too sensitive and making us like bitches and whatever. And then on the right, it's like, bring back that hard line shit. And that is really you being a little sensitive. And that's okay. But being a little like, that's not the fucking Gulf of Mexico. That's not the Gulf of America. It's the Gulf of America. It's a little sensitive. And it reads as fuck, yeah, for sure. But it's also a little bit like, it's not vibes. It's not McConaughey. We talked about this in the Dr. Phil segment. When you get old and you're a celebrity, you have one of two ways to go. You can become spiritual, at peace. You've achieved your dreams. You've achieved money. Now you have to wonder what it's all about. You read Rick Rubin's book, A Creative Act, as much as you possibly can. Love that book. And you think, I want to create, I want to be a spiritual person. I don't necessarily want to fall into the land of potentially petty, angry, grinding politics, which McConaughey might do. He's speed run spiritual. He might go politics. We talked about Dr. Phil going politics. We forget sometimes because he's now, love or hate, a historical American figure. Donald Trump's a celebrity. And he went hard politics. And the thing about going hard politics is you've not had a spiritual awakening. So you're a little sensitive. You're a little, you say you're strong. You say you're strong, but that means you're a little petty. That means you're a little on edge. That might be the way to be a world leader. Look at this guy freaking out. These are the people you have to deal with. But now we are classified as a sensitive country. And I would say, it doesn't matter what Google Maps thinks. It doesn't. But I would also say, hey, maybe that's good. Maybe we should all get in touch with our sensitivity. It's okay. We're in our feelings about stuff. Feel your feelings, guys. Feel your feelings, America. Feel your feelings. And also, while you're doing that, come see me on tour, folks. JoeyAvery.com/live. We got more show for you, but just want to say real quick, Austin, Atlanta, Nashville, fun little run. Atlanta, middle of the week, a little cold. Newer market for me, newer market for the club, figuring that out. Austin and Nashville, both sold out weekends. I've never done a full sold out weekend before. So to get to do that at the Creek and the Cave in Austin, that was my biggest one weekend crowd in my entire career. Nashville following it up, smaller room, but still 4 sold out shows. And just amazing crowds. It means a lot to me. I am getting to live my dream. As we mentioned, we're in that phase of my arc. So that shit was awesome. Minneapolis this weekend, that is likely to sell out too. Sisyphus Brewing, I've heard one of the most fun clubs out there these days. My friend Emily Catalano shot a special there worth checking out. It's called Unspecial. Yeah, other than that, come see the remaining tour dates that we have up. We've got Calgary also in February, Irvine in February. What else do we have after that? We've got Dallas that's up there, Providence, Rhode Island. Maine's going to be coming through, and then gonna have a bunch more coming soon. So joeyavery.com, check that out. If you want merch, that'll be at the shows. Also, this hat, we have Joey Avery Industries. I got the Avery Industries on. We have the other one back there. Shirts, hats, all from the corporate collection. That's live at the link in the pod. But let's get back to the show. All right, folks, we've done a lot of politics here, so let's talk money, huh? Let's get your money right. I want to do, there's a big story hitting the U.S. markets right now, putting the markets in turmoil, disrupting the AI space. You know what? Instead of me doing it, let's just shoot it over to our business correspondent who's going to help you out. Here's our business guy. Thanks, Joey. Big news coming out of the market today. No, I'm not talking about the basketball dream I had on melatonin. AI has fallen off of a cliff. Rest in peace to a goat. AI stocks are bombing right now, and I'm not talking like Netanyahu, even though this is a money show, folks. The Chinese are coming in hot, and I'm not talking about my toilet. After some PF Chang's DeepSeek has come in and just shoved its fat but maybe slender Chinese cock down the rear end of the market. I mean, if you are in AI stocks, I would say sell, sell, sell. Actually, it's a dip. It's a good time to buy. Call me in sync. What are we doing, folks? This is a hot stock news, stock tips. This is financial advice. You will make money if you listen to me. Back to you, Joey. Well, thank you for that incredible CNBC style vibe. That I don't know if that's I think that's Mim Jamer. That doesn't work. No. Jim Cramer, Crim Jamer. We'll workshop that. Well, that's important reporting here. But folks, DeepSeek is a real thing. Everyone's been talking about it. Some Chinese AI has hit the market. It has thrown the U.S. markets into chaos. NVIDIA, who's one of the biggest winners of the last few years, chip company, lost something like $500 billion of their market cap. Don't worry, they have plenty left. The argument here, as I understand it, is this new AI DeepSeek is doing what people didn't think was possible for way less money and way less computing power than we thought. Now, the markets see this as bad news because they're looking at it going, what the fuck? We've put all this money into chip people and they don't even need all the chips? But on the other hand, it's like all the chips, all the computing power, all the stuff that can make AI a horrible thing for the environment. Hey, maybe there's some good news here. Also, this Chinese company is doing it a little open source. Ethically, we like that. But what do we know about China? You can't trust them. You can't trust them because you throw them on your phone and now they're spying at you twice. Now they see your keystrokes twice. Now they're watching you watch porn twice with the Chinese. So apparently this DeepSeek thing, I'm not super in the AI game, but you have people like Mark Andreessen saying it's one of the biggest breakthroughs that surprise breakthroughs that we've seen. It's promising maybe for the future of AI. Other people are saying, well, because of U.S. chip constraints, potentially China is lying. They could be lying about the amount of chips they're using. Maybe they are using more chips. Maybe they got their hands on other chips. Maybe Another argument that I've heard is that what this has shown is that because so much capital is available to American companies, we've gotten lazy and fat. We're the rich kids of the economy, and the Chinese are sitting there, okay, just fucking, just coding with chopsticks. Is that racist? I guess. I don't know. They're just doing more with less. As Jon Stewart put it on The Daily Show, you mean to tell me the Chinese did something we've been doing for cheaper? So it's very interesting. I'm kind of fascinated by the whole thing because everyone's saying AI is the future. We're investing $500 billion, I think, of the government into it. Is that investment actually useful? What is actually happening? Is AI going to take over everything? Am I even going to be able to have my own podcast? Is it just going to be AI talking to you? I don't know. Maybe. The interesting thing is anytime it's a Chinese company that does something, it's like they're just like, hey, just don't talk about China. You know, like if you go on to DeepSeek and you say, hey, what's wrong with the American government? Dude, reams of data. If you say, hey, what's wrong with China? I heard that what happens is it will type and then it will be like, I actually can't answer that one. And I don't like that about Chinese technology because it's anti-freedom of information. However, I'd probably behave the same way. You know what I mean? It's like if I buy your cell phone and I catch you texting your friends shit about me, I'd be like, fuck that, dog. Not on the cell phone that I bought. They're a sensitive country. We're all a little sensitive. We're all more sensitive than we'd like to be. What is that? Maybe we need to do the internal work. I don't get the feeling that China is doing the internal work to get over its problems with how fucking bitchy and sensitive it is. But maybe we're a little bitchy and sensitive sometimes too. This is not both sidesism. This is reflecting on yourself. Do you do this in your life? Think about every fight you've ever been in your life. Are you like, you know what? Fuck them for real. Fuck them. Because like that's fucking bullshit and fuck them. I'm mad. But then you got to go, I probably could have been a little bit better. So that's it. I mean, maybe nothing did happen in Tiananmen Square. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? But if you're wanting me to be surprised that the Chinese coded something, town where I grew up, college I went to, you're not going to get a lot of shocks out of me. That's one of those stereotypes it's not nice when people say Chinese people do math. It sets up an expectation. It's like when people say black dudes have big dicks. There's a lot of people out there who have made this point that say, hey, that may feel like a positive stereotype, but then when I pull up with this mid-range pipe game, it puts me in a bad spot. And that happens to some of the Chinese people on the abacus. And I understand that. We are sensitive to everything at the Joey Show. We are a sensitive country. Everybody's sensitive. Everybody's a little sensitive. Okay, have you seen the rumors? Have you seen the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni rumors? They're sensitive. They're both very sensitive people. They made a movie about abuse, I think, called It Ends With Us. And I'm not a big celebrity goss guy, but if I heard about it one too many times, and I said, that's enough. I have to know now. So I didn't know who the fuck Justin Baldoni was, all right? And last time I checked in with Blake Lively, she was just some reality chick, right? Wasn't she on the OC? I'm like, since when is this bitch an actress? This lady. I need to be consistent. If I'm going to call her a bitch, I'm going to call him a dick. Dick and bitch. All right? Okay. Blake Lively career. Let's look this up because I don't remember. I thought she was just a reality bitch, but maybe she's always been an actress. And Justin Baldoni is a director douche and an actor dick. We're going to clean it up. We're going to clean it up one of these episodes, but Shit. Okay. How did she pop? Made her professional debut in Sandman, 1988. Breakthrough role in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Lively achieved recognition for her portrayal of Serena Vanderwoodson in the CW teen drama Gossip Girl. This is my mistake. She's always been an actress, it appears. Yes. Gossip Girl is my confusion because Gossip Girl is the reality TV of television series. It just was like, to me, I watched a little bit of Gossip Girl. There's like the Gossip Girl, the OC, and the Hills. The Hills was reality. Now I have to look this up. Folks, I am out of my depth. You want me to talk about Chinese AI, I got you, apparently. But if I'm talking about the Hills, I'm out of my depth. Reality show. Okay, TV series, yes. The Hills. See, the Hills and the OC confused me. Did I watch the OC? When I first moved to San Diego to go to college, I watched the OC in my dorm room every night because my girlfriend liked it at the time. She was like, watch this, and then I got really into it, and then I was like, oh my God, fucking SoCal living. I am SoCal living. It was a lovely time. I was SoCal living. It fired me up. I bought a longboard. I bought several Vans shirts in a variety of different colorways. These were special, special times. I used to wear my hat like kind of like backwards off the back of my head and like to the side. And I was just like, dude, what up? That's not even actually what it was like. It was more like, dude, fucking. Do you ever think about how like the ocean and the stars are like connected and how the moon pulls the ocean closer to you and me, and we look at the moon the same way every night, and then you just rip longboard out. It was awesome. It was a great time. I probably will move it. You heard it here first, and I've been telling everybody, but just the way that Joe Rogan got everybody to move to Austin, my long term is, and you guys can help with this, the faithful members of the 12. This podcast needs to get big enough that I have some gravitational pull, and then I will move a bunch of great comedians to be in San Diego, which is truly where we all want to live, because LA doesn't matter anymore, respectfully, and Austin is Austin, respectfully, and I'm not going to live in New York forever, respectfully. It might have to be San Diego time. I've gotten lost in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni drama, and I apologize for that, but I just want to let you guys in on my life plan, which is to go back and be the Southern California douche that I kind of am, while maintaining the core of the real Northern California boy that I will always be. Somewhere between San Diego and the Bay, your boy is posting up. Wherever the fucking longboard hills can be shredded, though. So, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. A little sensitive. Actor, actress. Bit of a tough pairing, honestly. I don't know how people do these fucking movies because TLDR, Blake Lively is Ryan Reynolds' wife. She stars in a drama called a romantic film called It Ends With Us, and there are several romantic scenes. She is romantically involved with Justin Baldoni. Director dick, actor hoe. And they have some romantic scenes, and they clearly develop some sort of close working relationship through this time. They have leaked through their court documents several texts, a weird, like, 6-minute voice memo that he left to her that was very odd, where he talks about, like, I'm sorry if things went weird over text. I'm more of a face-to-face person, but I've really enjoyed like being in your space and working in your space, and like you're so powerful, and like what you bring to this project and what we're going to do with this project is so powerful, and like everything in this is like storytelling, and like when powerful people like us get together to do like storytelling and stuff, then like these are stories that need to be told, and like the world is not going to understand what's going on without these stories that we're telling, and the way that we tell these stories when you and I are such powerful forces being in one another's spaces and like pushing and pulling and doing what it takes to be the creative, powerful people that we are, and like telling these stories. to tell these stories, because if we don't tell these stories don't get told. And then she was like, I'm going to fucking sue you because you she said for sexual harassment. Okay. Now, that's not good. That's not good at all. One of her pieces of evidence was that he, during an infamous rooftop scene, I can't believe I haven't even watched the film, but it is an important story that needs to be told. And I'm glad it was told. It just wasn't told to me. So there's a rooftop scene. They have a kiss. They have they're talking. They're going to they're back and forth. And she basically said it went on too long, and he creeped her out. He smelled her neck and said, "It smells so good." This is what she said. Now he released a 10-minute video of this. I'd plug it in, but I think I'm doing a better job of just actually, I could plug in the audio, I could plug in the video, but I swear to God I'm nailing the spirit of this, and we don't need the specifics. In the actual 10-minute thing, and I skimmed it, and I got to the part that was most replayed on YouTube, lovely feature, and he goes in, and they're supposed to be face-to-face, mind you. They're face-to-face, they're in each other's space, they're telling a story. And they're telling this story, and they're face-to-face, and they're in each other's space, and they're holding space for one another. And he's talking, and he references his wife. He references, as they're looking at each other, the chatter, they're supposed to be chattering. But instead of the chatter being creepy, the chatter is oh yeah, you and Ryan are so cute. Oh yeah, me and my wife. It's pretty chill, honestly. And they're acting like they're in love. And then he goes and he kind of goes down her neck, and she's like, you're probably getting my spray tan on your nose. To which he chuckles and says, it smells so good. That is perfectly normal. That's actually, that's reason. He was not saying your neck smells good. He didn't say, because I watched this, he didn't say, fucking smells so good. He literally, she said, you're getting my spray tan in your nose. He goes, it smells good. Then 2 minutes later, he goes, I think we got enough. Looks at the camera and he goes, cut. He's the director, dick. So that's insane. Now, were they maybe texting too much? Were they holding too much space for one another? Is the 2 a.m. voice message, while not being creepy or incriminating, just a weird, disgusting ooze of LA douche that makes you want to die? Yes. Fine. LA is full of despicable people. Also lovely people. This is the thing that people get lost about when discussing LA. We highlight the despicable, annoying, impossible LA type, and lost in the mix are the many lovely other people who live there and don't send 7-minute voice messages at 2 a.m. to their married co-star, not being really rude, but just being really weird and talking about being a director and how powerful the work is. It's a movie. It has a good point, but your movie about abuse is ending in a lawsuit. Is that the story that needs to be told? Now, it seems to me, and I am an expert in Hollywood drama and these two people's lives, because I figured out what Blake did. Let's look up Justin Baldoni, because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't know who he is. Justin Baldoni career. I'll tell you this. If you're on the side, and this is generally fair, if you're on the side of release all the fucking tapes and footage and evidence, that's not 100% of the time predictive, but generally a better sign. And that is the side that Justin is on. Well, he's a good looking fella. But he would probably be the worst at a party. Acting debut in the soap opera The Young and the Restless. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Wrote, produced, and directed his first music video and won him an Audience Choice Award. Okay, well, I'm fucking bored by this already. The point is I'm an expert, so I'm going to make the call here. I think that Blake Lively, pretty powerful. Ryan Reynolds, very powerful. We love Ryan Reynolds. He's hot. He's a king. He's funny. He's charming. He owns a football team. But I have a feeling that these sort of high-powered individuals, they can throw their weight around if they feel like it. And if Ryan didn't like that Justin Baldoni is sending some 2 a.m. messages, is going back and forth, is really trying to involve himself in Blake's life, and on top of that, maybe a little jealousy with some of the romance going on, I think it might just be easier for her to be like, yeah, fuck that guy. That is not, I think that they have convinced themselves, because that scene is the only evidence that I've seen. That's pretty obvious. But I think they've convinced themselves, dude, this dude's being a creep, fuck him. And then she's probably like, yeah, he was. And Ryan's like, yeah, he is. And now they're just going to go with this dude. And I think she might be being a bit of an insufferable biatch. So the best thing to do is understand that probably everyone involved in this is disgusting and you wouldn't like them at a party. Now that's the gossip corner. We're doing hot goss today. I know, and everyone knows, I'm a messy little bitch who loves drama. Barack Obama, Jennifer Aniston is a hot rumor that has been there forever. I saw an article that said why the Barack Obama, Jennifer Aniston rumor just won't die. Because Michelle has not been showing up. Michelle did not go to the inaug. Michelle, did she not go to Jimmy Carter's death? Michelle's been doing other shit, I guess. I guess she didn't go to Jimmy Carter's death. That's a little... For J-Dog? You're not going to go for Cartman's death? I know you're probably not, like, vibing with Trump, but, like, now Obama and Trump had to vibe together. Here's the deal. When Michelle steps out of the picture, people heat up. People say nasty things about Michelle. They do. People say rude things about Michelle. People call her Big Mike. They insinuate that she's a man. These are not nice things. And a lot of them have really kind of ugly racial undertones and things of that nature. And whenever they're not together, hey, the rumor mill starts churning. Now, I have a different vision. I don't want to really discuss the seedy underbelly of all of this. I think the reason Barack and Jennifer Aniston as a rumor won't go away, again, Michelle's gone. People say they're living separate lives. He's gay. He drowned the paddleboarder. These are not things I believe. Who drowns on a paddleboard? Why was the chef at that? Look. I've paddleboarded a few. Okay. People forever have wanted Barack and Jennifer to be a thing. Again, there's a nasty angle, some conspiracies, but there's also an angle that I think is full of hope and beauty. Jennifer Aniston addressed these. She said that's not true. She went on Jimmy Kimmel. This is years ago, but it keeps coming back up. She went on Jimmy Kimmel. She said, well, a lot of times your publicist will give you something and you'll go, oh, wow, that's horrible. And she goes, while this rumor is not true, because I don't know him, I've met Michelle more than him. She goes, that was one of the rumors where I said, hey, it's not the worst. And I thought that was funny and a good way to handle it, and what you would say if you were fucking the president. I'm kidding. The reason I think that this won't go away is because of who Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston are to a certain portion of the American pie, if you will. Not the kind they stuck their dick into in that film. I feel like they embody the mommy and daddy of a particular generation of American. Would this be Gen X? Is Gen X the one right before millennial? Kind of the ones that are known for, I believe Gen X is known for you drive an Audi, you go to Starbucks. I think Jennifer Aniston they were dream girlfriend, dream boyfriend turned kind of mommy and daddy, I think. What is Gen X? Gen X, people born between the 60s and 70s, between the baby boomers and the millennials. Yes. MTV generation, latchkey generation, forgotten generation. That's a lot to give them. Yeah, punk rock, early hip hop, grunge. Yeah, they kind of had it going on, but then tech savvy, not tech dependent. Favor options like consistency and predictability. Yeah, shaped by the Gulf War. Really? Get over it. Gen X. I think that's maybe even a little bit later than that. Yeah, maybe a little bit later than that. I'm thinking born like 80s, 90s, whatever it is. This is mommy and daddy to a certain portion. Maybe not everyone from that age range, but just a portion of America that they see them and they feel stability, they feel connection, they feel safety, they feel romance, and they just want mommy and daddy to be together. And that's why it is kind of a fun rumor. Is it true? Probably not. Probably not. But neither are a lot of the things I said about Kate Middleton ruining, being responsible for shooting the Boeing whistleblowers. This program is about how the world feels, not how it is. But that's okay because we're all getting a bit more sensitive. Thank you very much, folks. That has been the Joey Show for this week. Don't forget to see me on the road, and don't forget to subscribe to the new YouTube channel. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but folks, I've been talking about it for too long, and you definitely don't care, especially those of you who are listening on audio and Spotify, where we will remain in the same locations. Please leave a like and a review on the YouTube. Sub to the new YouTube because we're going to channel split, and that will happen after episode 50. So the next episode will be the final one on this YouTube channel. Again, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, whatever the fuck you're doing, dude. You listening on a ham radio in Chechnya, whatever the fuck works for you. We will remain the same everywhere else. Thank you very much for listening to The Joey Show. I love you. It's okay to be sensitive. Good night. Thank God I have a podcast.